I'm Void,
I'm Enigma.
and this is the CDL Report.
Let's get into it. We had a pretty eventful weekend of matches.
Oh, great weekend of matches.
Great weekend. A lot of map fives. I love to see it after not seeing any map fives for a while. This stage has been really nice to see. So many game fives. I love. We're getting a lot of dealership in these matches too. What do we make out of that so far? Good, bad, the same as Skyline.
I think it's better than Skyline, personally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not like that good of a map,
Mhm.
but it's still better than Skyline and Vault.
Fair. Yep, that's
I feel
fair.
like you can actually make some plays.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The map's been fun to watch. I don't know if it's just pros haven't adapted to it yet, but like I am definitely having a better time watching this than Skyline and Vault. Um,
I agree.
we're gonna start the show off with some roster mania that happened. What was it today? No, yesterday.
Yesterday.
It was yesterday that this broke. Vivid dropped from the Carolina Royal Ravens.
I mean, this
Um,
this isn't a surprise. It's
it's
not a
not a
surprise to
surprise.
anyone. They
Yeah.
tried dropping him for Kenny. Obviously, that fell through.
Mhm.
Uh, I think Kenny would have been an amazing addition to this team, especially
Yeah.
with how he's been playing on Rocker.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, I don't think Vivid was the problem of this team. I
I
mean,
agree.
he definitely wasn't helping them,
Yeah.
you know? But I think their team issues go beyond Vivid.
Yeah, Vivid definitely was not the problem. Well, not the whole problem. He was definitely a problem on the map. Um, he was just not in his natural role. That's first off. But he knew that going into it. I don't want to hear any of this. Vivid got screwed again. He did not get screwed. He took on the role willingly. This wasn't an unwilling thing. Like he knew what he was getting himself into, and it just didn't work out because he's not an AR player. That's just kind of how it works when you go into an unnatural role. Now, I don't think he performed that bad overall. I think he performed like okay. Like, I definitely think there's worse players in the league than him that still have their spot. But it's just unfortunate for him. It sucks. I think last year he really got screwed. Like that was like unacceptable what Rocker did last year with him. This year I don't think he got screwed. I think he performed well on LAN, but his online performances were rough. Recently he's been playing some of the worst COD of his career.
Yeah,
He's went out and said that. He dropped a point 0.6 against Surge. That was a pretty important matchup for winners bracket too.
it's also against one of the top teams, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
If if he can't compete against the top teams, they obviously needed a change.
yeah.
Uh, let's talk about who the rumored bringing in is. Rex.
I heard Dylan
I mean,
Rex. That's the only rumor I've
yep,
heard.
the only thing
Um,
I've heard too.
it makes sense. I'm glad he's getting a shot if it's true. Um, I I think
I
it's an
mean,
upgrade.
he's
I
definitely trying in challengers.
The
Uh,
problem is challenge is so
it
different
doesn't
than
it
the
it
league.
doesn't correlate. I agree, but it's a sign of hope. You know, like he can play good.
Yeah. I do think this is a positive thing for both Ravens and obviously Dylan Rex. Like this is a big opportunity, and his first match is going to be against LA Thieves. That's a tough first match to go into. I don't really know what they're expecting here. They should have made the change before the matches. Like even when they couldn't get Kenny, they still should have dropped Vivid. Get as much time to practice as you can. Didn't work out that way. They ran it back. Vivid didn't work out. He dropped a point 0.6 in his last match, and he got dropped. Dylan Rex got a lot to prove here. He's coming into a good team, which is you don't really see the good teams dropping someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but for good teams to become great, usually you got to make at least one change. You know?
Absolutely. I fully agree. He's coming into a team with a veteran like Slasher leading the pack. Like he's gonna learn so much so quickly because of Slasher. And if their search stays at the level it was, and their hard point gets a little better because of just natural kills. Their control has to get better. This can be a really good change for the team. I'm excited to see what Dylan Rex can do. Any final thoughts before we move on, Void?
No, I mean, I think we kind of summed it all up.
Yeah, good change. Unfortunate for Vivid. Let's move on. We had a really good weekend of matches. That's starting with a big upset with the Miami Heretics taking down Optic Texas 3-1. A pretty comfortable win. Uh, what do we think right off the bat, Void?
Bro, I don't know what to think about this Optic team, man. Like,
You were
they've
you were very
shown they
high on them.
bro, they've shown like they can compete against the top teams, but obviously it's just not translating into actual matches. Uh,
Yeah, I don't know
uh
what their deal is. Yeah,
I mean, Super also played out of his fucking mind. 1.31 against Optic. Like,
94 kills. Yeah, very
like
very impressive
I
from
know this
Super.
isn't like the Optic of last year where they're a top 3 team, but it still's got to be nice to beat players like Shotzi and Dashy and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. Super has been lights out. I'm gonna say it. I was wrong. I was wrong about these Miami Heretics. I was not familiar with Super's game. I did not expect his impact to dramatically change them this much.
Well, in your defense, he did get played once, but he was not in his actual role.
Yeah, but I wasn't counting that personally. Like I was just kind of I didn't I didn't think that he had it in him, honestly. That was just me personally. I was wrong. Super is that guy. And now Miami has three really solid pieces. They just need that consistent fourth. Metals isn't consistent enough. His highs are high, but his lows are pretty damn low. If he can find some consistency, or if they just find a better fourth, they're set up to be in a really good spot for the future. But in regard to this series, Super was just lights out. Rancor doing his thing. Real had a little bit of a down
He had an
series,
off series, but
but he
players
still
tend to
did his
have that.
thing. He still did his thing. Look at those engagements. He had a lot of deaths, but he was just getting in the mix. I don't know what's going on with this Optic squad. Um, my eyes are on Skies personally. This guy has to step up at some point. It just looks like he doesn't know what's happening on the map in these matches, because in scrims he looks very like good, like he
Well,
looks like he's cooking.
that's what I'm saying. Like in
Yeah.
scrims, they look so good. I don't know
Hmm.
what it is with actual matches. Maybe it's the ping thing. Maybe they'll do better on land. But this is a team that could beat the top teams, but also lose to the worst teams.
Yeah,
Like they're
that's fair.
so day dependent.
Yeah,
You know, like
that's fair.
that will never. They won't win anything if that's how they're playing.
I agree. I agree. Like I don't know what's going on with this. Like this Optic squad just confuses me so much. I don't know what their end goal is anymore. Uh, I think we should move on from this series. Miami looked good, man. Like they came out hot. They
They
stayed
look really
hot.
good.
They did lose the control, but it went 3-2 on Hacienda. Like that can go either way. Optic just played that one better finally. But Miami looked good, man. Any last thoughts here?
I'm excited for this Miami team.
Me too. I want to see them on land. I want to see Super on land. He's gonna be a fun one to watch. His search has been so incredible. Like this guy is him in search. Like he's him in all the modes, obviously, but like search specifically, his arrow just moves in a very satisfying way. Like he's making plays. Let's move on. Vancouver Surge. 3-0. The LAG mates. I don't know what to say anymore about these
Uh,
guys. Like
the Gentlemates just look so lost.
these guys suck. These guys suck.
Bro, it's not even just one player. They're all sucking.
Yeah,
You
Kismet's
know?
really fallen off after his really, really good start. I don't blame him just because it's so hard to get comfortable when your team is swapping so much. But like these changes are needed. I do think they look better, but
They
like
definitely look
that's
better.
not saying much.
I mean, they definitely look better, but like they still can't compete with like any of the teams.
Hmm. Is this loss like Surge looking that good or LAG just looking that bad? It's
Uh,
probably a little both, right?
I mean, Surge is definitely one of our top teams,
Yeah,
so they definitely look good. But I think it's just Gentlemate's looking so bad.
that's fair.
Like
That's fair.
I think
Like,
you could
yeah,
plug in most teams in this league and it would go about the same.
yeah, yeah, probably. Yeah, Surge got the better of all of them. Lunars with the only positive in that matchup, which is kind of surprising because Lunars has been pretty underwhelming. Uh, I don't know if it's just like he's just not comfortable yet, but he's got someone familiar and fellow. He should get comfortable. He's Something's got to happen with the squad. They're playing for EWC right now. Like they're not playing for champs. They're obviously out of the race. Like I can't see any world that they make it. They're playing for EWC. That's their next big event in Saudi. So hopefully they can build a squad that actually can shoot back.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. The Carolina Royal Ravens, Minnesota Rocker. This goes all the way down to a map
Right.
5 round 11 on dealership. What do we make here? What
I
do you
mean,
think right off the bat?
besides the one map, Rocker looked really good.
Yeah,
Like I honestly, I feel like Rocker kind of threw this series.
I
Like,
think it's just a classic Minnesota Rocker series that they have it in the palm of their hand. They have the W right there. It's right in front of them,
yeah,
and it just gets slowly taken away. And they go to map 5 as per usual. They've gone to map 5 every single series that they've played so far. Kenny's got to be having gray hairs. Like this is gotta be so stressful. Um, everyone
I,
played good. Like this is a fun series.
yeah, but Minnesota just has no clutch factor. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
how many map fives you got to go to finally win one? You know,
yeah,
eh, like they looked
yeah.
really good. They could have won that Hacienda hardpoint. I just feel like they threw it all away.
I mean, just look at this map 5 though. Like Gwyn, my onliner, my online king, 14-9. Everyone else negative by a not. I mean, kind of a decent amount. Two neg by two,
I mean,
neg by two, neg by four. Like
the only one that went really negative was Slasher.
I mean, he
You
went
know,
two negative. Both of them went two negative. Him and Vivid. TJ went neg by four. Gwyn. Gwyn was just him. Like he was just getting two pieces, man. This guy was a two-piece machine mid map. Like it was unreal. Estrio had a very down map. Unfortunate, man. Rocker. I feel like they're there. Like I feel like they're always in a position to actually like get some dubs and it just gets taken away from them. You know what I'm saying?
they just need that clutch factor. I feel like if they can figure out how to win these map fives, they could be a good middle of the pack team.
Yeah. Like look
But,
at dude,
but right now, they look like
they
they
played
might
for the
not even
win.
make champs, man.
Yeah, it's a tough one. They started the year pretty solid. Dude, like this is just so I got like if you're Minnesota, you got to be frustrated cuz that's what they played three matches so far? No, four. They've all gone to map 5, sorry.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's tough. You gotta clutch up eventually. Ravens looked pretty okay in this match, honestly. Their search looked good. Their hacienda still looks pretty good. This is before the vivid dropping, obviously. And any final thoughts here? Gwyn, my online or king, my online king. He just keeps going, man.
I mean, I think it was just a Gwyn diff,
Yeah, I think that.
especially in the search and destroys.
Yeah, I think that's
Like,
exactly what it came down to. Just they don't have Gwyn on their team.
I mean, if he doesn't drop a 2.0 S&D KD, this is
Yeah,
Minnesota Rockers series all the way.
yeah. Everyone else on Ravens didn't look that great. TJ looked good in the hard points. Well, in the map 4 at least. Let's move on. Ravens get the dub. And another upset is what we had with the Miami Heretics taking down Atlanta FaZe 3-1. Exactly how they took down Optic Texas. Except FaZe got the map 1 win, and then it was just Miami all the way.
I
What do we make out of this so far? 3 negatives for Atlanta FaZe.
I don't think there's much to take away from this. I mean, we know what Atlanta FaZe can do, especially on land.
Yeah,
Uh, I think the biggest thing to look out for is Miami. They looked really good.
yeah,
Uh, they could definitely sneak their way into another top three
yeah.
finish on land.
Uh huh.
Uh, there's not much to say. I feel like FaZe is kind of map testing a little bit.
You think so?
I think they're map testing a little bit.
Uh, maybe the vault. They are actively. They're always trying to get better at vault. I feel like they play it a lot online,
Yeah.
and on land they just don't play it as much because it just feels like they're not that confident on it. But they play it a lot online. They did get the dub in it, but it was just Miami the rest of the way. Like it was just crazy. Map 4 was literally they didn't have the win in their palm of their hand, but they looked really good. Like FaZe was leading, and then Metals just turned up. That map 4 was unreal for Metals. Guy dropped 42 against FaZe for the dub. Um, but Metals is just that up and down guy, Like I was saying in the Optic series, very inconsistent. Didn't really have a good series there, but he turns up here. Um, if he can find some sort of consistency, like he'll
I
be a
mean,
force.
even in that Optic series, he's played pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe just having Super on the team is making him play better. Maybe it's
Could
just
be.
a little resurgence.
Mm-hmm.
But if he could just keep getting 1.0 KDs,
Yeah,
this is a very strong team.
yeah. And Miami's got some clutch. They went to round 11 in the map 2. I think Rencor clutched up a 1-on-1. Um, Rencor's just been dude. I'm just so impressed by the guy. Like he's a good watch. He's probably rookie of the year.
Oh,
I
he's
don't.
100% rookie of the year. I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
don't
there's
think
any
anyone
doubt
else
that he
comes
can.
close. Yeah.
We don't really have that many exciting rookies this year.
Yeah. What do you mean? You don't think Duhum would be rookie of the year? My bad, Doom. My bad.
You don't
Let's
gotta
move
call him
on.
out like that.
The one that I have been waiting to talk about. I called it. I was called a madman. I was called dumb. I was said this was not happening. I called it. Vegas Falcons get their first W against Optic Texas. Um, Pred beats his old team. Shasi drops a .7 against his former teammate. Void, please take us away, Mr. Optic. Like you were very high on this squad.
I said this earlier. I don't think I got to rehash it that much, but this is a team like they could just take a game or they could take a match off some top teams, but it just depends on the day. I
Yeah.
think it also depends on Shotzi. This man, he has he has not looked good at this game at all. Like I would go far to say he's barely a top 10 sub at this game. Maybe not even that.
Right now he's probably not top 10 now.
Yeah, he looks so bad at this game. I don't know what he needs to change specifically, but whatever he's doing, it's not working.
Yeah. Dude, like this series was so fun to watch, but like Dude, what is Optic doing? Like, genuinely, can we get Bruce some help? Please. Can we get him some help? This guy has 13,000 damage
I
when
know.
Hook has 9, Shotzi has 10, and Skies, his fellow AR, has 10 also. Can we please get Bruce some help? These guys suck. Optic sucks. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know why. Because these guys are super talented. These guys are very, very talented. Um, I don't know why they can't win. It feels like they're making
I think it's
things
just
too
the
complicated.
I think it's the pacing of this game personally.
I feel like they
Like
should
it,
thrive, especially with
it
Hook and Shotzi on the team.
you know I'm not a big hoop guy.
Oh, I am. I love Hook the Nuke.
I'm not a big hoop guy. I think he gets a lot of unimportant kills.
Okay, that's fair.
He does get a decent amount of kills, but I feel like most of his kills are kind of uneventful. I mean, it doesn't help when your other SMG is getting basically no kills,
Yeah, he
and,
has to
and
overcompensate, you know?
he's constantly Shotzi's constantly looking for a route and just gets lost and not in the play at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I gotta give it like his SMG duo isn't really doing too hot, but
Yeah. I do want to give a shout to the Falcons here. They were cooking this series. The vault they clutched up big time, and that map 4 skyline was clinical. They looked untouchable on that skyline. It was very impressive. Optic were just stagnant. They didn't know what to do. They genuinely did not know how to combat this team on skyline. I want to give a. I've been very hard on RCDs and Priesta. They showed up big time here. They went. They just looked insane, especially our cities. But Priesta also just he looked like he was cooking.
one of his
Um,
best series this year so far.
that probably was his best series of the year.
Yeah.
I don't think it's saying much. His series haven't been that great, but this is a sign of hope.
Yeah,
This is a
but
very big sign of hope.
the problem is they're just already out of
They
champs.
are out of it, but they do have EWC, but also
Yeah, but
odds
there's usually roster mania right before, or at
fair,
least last year there was a little bit of a roster mania before
fair.
EWC.
That's fair. But I
I
think
I
in this case, they're not making champs, right? We're in agreement. They're not making champs. But uh these champs points are gonna come down to the last major. It's gonna come down to that major for
they could
DreamHack in
I see what you're
Dallas.
saying. They could
They're
upset a team.
I said this on the last show. I think they're gonna crush someone's champ streams. I don't
It's
know
definitely
whose,
possible.
but I really think they're gonna crush someone's champ streams. Um, Pred faces old team. He looked good. He was moving on the map. All these guys were Xned goes negative. I don't care. I love seeing this guy playing with like this squad. Like he just looks so much happier.
I'm just so happy this man actually got a win.
Yeah.
Like he's the
Yeah.
only one on that Vegas Falcons team that deserved a win.
Yeah. I fully agree. Like Xned was cooking, man. This guy's been cooking for the whole year. Bad rosters. He finally gets a dub. He looks so happy. Like if you watch that interview, it actually warmed my heart to see him just so filled with joy, and you just see the passion that this guy has on the map 3. You would have thought that they won the series with the way he reacted after winning the map. Like they were up 2-1 in the series, and he threw down his headset and was getting pumped up. Like the passion on Xnid is so nice to see, and you don't see it from a lot of pros nowadays.
No.
Um, I think
Let's move
Optic,
on.
dude. I don't think Optic's making champs.
No, I
I
don't
don't
think
think they're
so.
making champs. I don't think they're making champs. I think they're getting bombed out of both majors, top 8 at most.
I
Well,
agree. I don't even think they make the Saturday, personally.
no, probably not. Yep. let's move on. Like you were saying, Boston versus LAG. Dude, LAG, dude.
Oh, yeah, we said it earlier. LAG
These
they
guys
look,
suck.
bro. They look a lot better,
They
but they
do.
still just suck.
They did have a really nice comeback on the map too. I believe Boston was leading at 5-1, if I'm not mistaken. It was either 5-1 or 5-2. And they made the really nice
It was
comeback.
5-1.
Yeah. They made a really nice comeback to win the map, which I thought would give them the anything, just any life, man, any momentum to take the series, because that's a big confidence thing too. You come back from 5-1 on a search, like that's impressive against a Boston team that's very good at search, very good at hacienda. Um, and then they don't get steamrolled the rest of the series. They just miss their opportunities.
I personally think if this was the team they started the year off with, they would be doing a lot better than they are.
Yeah, they're
I,
definitely, dude, they're better
they're
than what they're
definitely a lot
showing.
better, and they haven't been together for too long.
Yeah.
Uh, if this was a team that started the year off, I think they could at least be contending for a champs place.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. Johnny was cooking,
He
dropping a
was.
1.2. This guy has been cooking in all of his series, even against Surge. He didn't go positive, but like he was shooting. Um, Snoopy's just that guy, man. I think Snoopy's so good at this game. Like this guy is unreal.
I
His
mean,
ARs are stepping up too.
yes, they've looked like they found their form a little bit.
Yeah,
Uh,
finally.
they Yeah, I mean, still not Cold War Cammy, but at least Cammy's not dropping .7s, you know?
Listen, as long that Cammy for the win doesn't need to drop, 1.5s. Like as long he can drop like look at this series, he can drop a .91 to get the dub. Awakening stepped up 1.10. Purge is just kind of filling in gaps, doing his thing, and then you got Snoopy slaying. Uh,
Uh, this is a
the
team that I really like this Boston team.
I still think they should change. I do think they missed their gap now because
They have like,
all the good ARs are gone, especially with the rumored Dylan Rex going to
oh,
Ravens.
yeah, the only person I could see them picking up was Dylan Rex, and even
Yeah,
then, it's now with
yeah,
the rumors to Carolina.
yeah.
If I'm Rex, I'm not passing up to Carolina.
No, that's like
Like
best case scenario.
they're much higher in the standings.
Yeah,
They've looked good against top teams. Uh,
yeah.
I I don't know what to say. I think this Boston team, uh, I think they could probably win a series or two at champs, but I don't think they make a deep champs run.
Okay. I don't know.
But
There's always that like dark horse at a
that's
champs.
true.
Like 2 years ago it was Surge with Pred and Sib on the team. Last year it was LA Thieves with that young squad. They made the top four.
I mean,
There's
I think
mhm.
if there's gonna be a dark horse, I think it's either gonna be Breach or Ravens.
Ooh,
I know Ravens.
I like the
Ravens
Raven
a
shout.
little.
Nah, I like
I
it. I like it.
I mean, I'm hesitant to call Ravens a dark horse because, like I said, they're
No,
high
they
in the
would be.
standings.
They would be the a dark. I mean, I
But they
see what you're saying.
falter against the top teams. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. I
Like
see what you're saying.
they falter against the top teams. So in my head, they could be a dark horse.
Mhm.
But I don't know.
But you got Boston making champs. Uh,
I 100% have them making champs.
okay, all right.
In the major,
Yeah.
I see them at least making the Saturday.
At least making the Saturday. All right. Let's move on. LAG suck. C9, LA Thieves. There's not much to talk about.
No,
Slamage. Map 1 got a little close. C9 making the comeback. They just faltered. Sim was snaking. Dude, I don't know like why this guy is snaking. Like
there's no penalties.
there's no
I mean,
penalties. We haven't really gone over this on the show. GAs. Um, are they stupid? Are they necessary? Is there such a thing as too much? What do you
it,
think in
it's
this
both.
scenario?
It's both. I don't agree on like the sniper GA, for example. I think smoke should be allowed in. Fucking let people run thermal sights. You know, that used to be a thing.
Yes, it
You know
was.
what I
Yes, it
mean?
was.
It provided a counter to the smokes. I get I get there's a lot of one ways with smokes, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Some GAs are necessary, especially like some of the weapon ones.
Yeah.
Like without the AR GAs, no one would run a sub.
Bro, it's an AR world anyway.
No one would run a sub. So like there are good GAs. I just think it shouldn't be up to the players.
Yeah, I think there should be some sort of committee. Um,
I
maybe
also
by the CDL, like, or even just like former pros that aren't associated with any of the orgs.
yeah, former pros, I think that should go to the map set as well. Because halfway through the year, if you're good on a map, even though it's everyone hates watching it, you're never gonna vote that map out.
True. That's
Like
true.
they,
Yeah.
like Call of Duty had to force dealership in and forcibly take out Vault and Skyline.
Yeah.
Like
That's fair.
I don't trust it. I don't know. I don't trust the pros' judgments because they're gonna be very biased of what they're good on.
Yeah.
So
That's fair. But there's no repercussions. So, Sib snaking his heart out. We saw him snaking his heart out. It's not his first offense. I don't think there's been any repercussions for him snaking.
probably because it
But
doesn't it doesn't
the
matter.
first one, yeah, but besides the first one in the beginning of the year, I don't like based off this match. I don't think he's gotten any repercussions. But again, it's like you said, like
We are also
it.
not privy to the GA chat and all that other stuff.
True, that's also fair. That's also fair.
So we don't really know if
Yeah,
there's a punishment,
yeah.
but
I
I
don't
get you
expect there
trying to
to
do
be.
everything to win, but like
Yeah, you see, the thing about GAs,
you're not
they're
winning
abs,
anyway.
they're absolutely necessary. Um, what's stopping someone from, COD champs round 11 for the ring, snaking your heart out? There's literally nothing stopping you from doing
Well,
that,
maybe the
and
devs
that's
should
probably
actually
what's
get
gonna
off.
happen.
Maybe the devs should actually fix snaking.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Uh, it is on the pros, but it is also on the devs to fix this mechanic. Like, it's not the pros' fault that this is in the game. It's
Bro,
their fault for abusing it.
hear me out. Just
Mhm.
make there a delay on going prone.
Yeah.
That look, I know I'm not a dev, but like that just seems like a simple fix.
I mean, you could also do what X
Like you
Defiant
can't.
did. Like, after I think it was like three pumps, it would make your aim like all wobbly, so you couldn't
Oh, the
aim
jump
straight.
shotting and yeah, the jump shotting and X-Defying. Yeah, after
Yeah,
like
it wasn't.
three
It wasn't
jumps
even just. It wasn't even just
and
jump
the
shotting.
crouches.
Even
It
just
was
the
the crouch.
crouches. Yeah. Like they did that. I know X Defiant's dead, but like still, like they had some good ideas there. Um, I think just LA Thieves here just steamrolled. I think it's just team diff, matchup diff, everything diff. Like
Just a Hydra diff. Like
yeah, yeah. Like this team is just leagues ahead of C9, and C9. I'm still. I still think C9 need a change. I
they've
don't
been
know what
looking
that
worse and
change. I
worse.
don't know what that change is anymore. Like I don't know. Let's move on from this match. Minnesota
Minnesota.
Rocker, please take it away.
This was so winnable by Minnesota.
Every
Minnesota.
game is winnable by these guys, man.
It's so winnable. I like. There's not much we can really say about these teams that we haven't said already. I don't think C9's looking good at all. They Rocker's looking good, but they can't close out matches. Like I don't know what to say. These teams, they're literally gonna get eliminated if either of them make champs. They're gonna get eliminated instantly. I don't
C9
see
is probably
them.
not making champs. I can't see C9 making champs. They have the hardest schedule, first off. Just off this major split, and next major split, I'm pretty sure they face Thieves and FaZe, if I'm not mistaken. Um, or it's one of the top three. Two of the top three. Sorry, it's either FaZe Thieves or Surge Thieves or something like that. Um, Attach went big. Attach went big. I know he had a 1.0 one, but like he was clutching up big time in the series. I love to see that. Kremp still doing his thing, man. Kremp's their best player. I know Sib is getting a lot of love, and rightfully so. But Kremp's been their best player in every mode.
I agree.
Like this guy has been cooking this year. Sib was unreal this series though. Like he was undeniable this series.
Yeah, but he doesn't show up every.
116.
He doesn't show up every series though.
I mean, he's been showing up for the most part, just not major. Before Major One, he was just awful, and
I don't
then
think
he
he's
found his
awful.
groove.
I think
I
he's a
think it's
really
awful.
good play. I think he's a really good. Well, I'm saying now, like I
Yeah,
think he's
yeah,
a really good player. I
mhm.
just think he's like, especially against top teams, he's very inconsistent.
That's fair. That's fair. C9 do get the reverse sweep. This is a much needed win to keep C9's champs dreams alive. Rocker they gotta clutch up at some point. Uh, every map was winnable except for the map 3. Like C9 just cooked them, honestly. It's
Yeah,
very unfortunate. Like you get a really good series out of Estriel. Estriel has been incredible for the Minnesota team the whole year. I know he's been slacking in the last like few games a little bit, but he's been cooking the whole year. Geo had a down series here. I think that's what it came down to. Geo just got a little. He got a little fried, just a little bit, you know.
yeah,
Uh, it came down to ARs, honestly.
I
Kenny
did.
Kenny did okay. Like I don't think a .99 is anything to like hang your head about, you know. Sib was just unreal.
Yeah, I think it's we should just move on from these teams.
Yep. Another reverse sweep. This was the series that got Vivid dropped. His final series on this Raven squad. It goes down to a 3-2. Um, Vivid dropping a .6 in his final match with the Ravens. This was probably the breaking point of Ravens saying, "All right, now we have to change."
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I mean, after those first two maps, Surge just had the Ravens number. Like
Yeah,
Nasty especially. This man was
Nasty
fucking
was cooking.
frying.
Nasty was
He was
cooking.
frying.
Nasty bailed them out like hard on like 5 different occasions on the protocol. Like Ravens were looking in the driver's seat of this protocol, and Nasty just bailed Surge out like 5 different times. I swear. Nasty was unreal. He clutched up big time. They took that momentum, went to the skyline, dominated the skyline. The skyline was not close,
Not at all. Oh,
and
the
then
Ravens
dominated the
are
dealership. Yeah. Vivid. Map 3 from Vivid, tough. Map 4 from Vivid was even worse, dropping a .4. Gwyn dropping a .6 in the map 4 also.
and then the map 5 Vivid 1 and 7. I mean,
He didn't drop a donut. You know, like that's a positive, I
I get
guess.
he had about the same amount of damage as his other two teammates, but
Yeah.
he couldn't buy a kill.
Yeah. I mean that happens sometimes, you know, like it happens. That's online COD for you. Uh,
That's true.
this was a really good showing for Surge. It showed a lot of resilience after going down 0-2. Um, Nasty, man. Nasty's been great for these guys. 0-4 too. 0-4 has been pretty good. Neptune is still like unbelievable. I know he only had a 1.08, which is kind of crazy to say that I'm saying only had. Like this guy's just been unreal. This Surge squad is the real deal. They're gonna show up on LAN. I'm very excited to see them on LAN again.
Yeah.
Do we got any final thoughts on this series?
Vancouver's looking really good. And
Yeah.
Ravens, I'm excited to see what their new roster is gonna bring.
Yep.
Because this roster ain't winning nothing.
Yeah. And now the final match of the series:
A
Toronto
match.
Ultra, LA Thieves.
This was a really good series. I mean, I personally think Ultra kind of stole it away from Thieves.
I think so
Just a
too.
tad bit.
Yeah.
I think they stole it from Thieves. Thieves didn't have the best hard points. I mean, they were close, but they didn't have the best hard points. I even that map 5. I think like if Beans doesn't get that RCXD2 piece, like that
Dude.
could be a different map.
Dude, this was so fun. Like, a dealership has been so fun because it feels like Rocket League when these guys get RCXDs, where they're just like you just saw them colliding with the separate RCs and blowing up. Like that was like pretty fun. Um, dude, this Ultra team, I might have been wrong. You've been high on them all year. You've been very high on this
I'm
stats.
telling you, they're a top 3 team. Yeah, the major surge kind of destroyed them,
Yeah,
but the more and more I see these guys play, the more and more I want to see them win.
yeah. Kleenex had a great dude. Kleenex was undeniable in this series. Just look at them kills. 121. That is unreal against a LA Thieves team that is insane online. They're good on land, obviously, but like online, they're just undeniable.
Yeah.
Um, this Toronto team, I might have been wrong. You've been high on them all year. You've been singing their praises. I might have been wrong. I thought that they might have been onliners. I did not think that they could do it on land. Didn't think they could make the Sunday unless they got a change. I was wrong. These
Yeah,
Toronto guys are good.
I mean, I was wrong on Surge. You were wrong on Ultra. You know,
Yeah,
we get one.
yeah. These Ultra guys are good. Joe Deceives. I know he went negative. It was only by one, but I feel like I say it every freaking episode. Joe Deceives is just so fun to watch. This guy is always cooking something, and you
You and the
see
show
it,
glaze.
dude. I will glaze this guy, man. Like this guy's so fun to watch. His POV's unreal. He's good in every single mode. Um, he's a top 5 sub, top 2 even.
100%.
You can
Oh,
you can make the argument. I think Joe Deceives has been unreal this
I
year.
don't think you can make the argument for top 2. Top
I
5
think
easily,
I think
but
I think you can make the argument for top 2 sub in the league.
unless they
Uh,
win something, I don't know.
they also need to, yeah, but you can't say that about the other guys either.
That's
Hydra
true.
hasn't won yet.
Only
Uh,
FaZe has won,
only FaZe have
really.
won. We've had 2 majors and FaZe won both, and they're probably gonna win this one again. These guys might actually win every single event. Um, that was the weekend. This is a fun series. I just think Toronto clutched up. Like I feel like it's exactly like you said. Like Toronto stole the series away. Like it felt like it was Thieves. It felt like it was Thieves for most of it, honestly.
Yeah.
And then they just stole it away. Uh, they clutch up big time. Fun series, man. Very fun weekend. Like that was a good weekend of COD.
Yeah.
Now we go on to
Love the map
predictions,
5.
man. Yeah, lot of map fives. I love it, man. I love all these map fives. Now we go to predictions. Friday, 3 o'clock. Heretics Ultra. What do we think? What do we think right off the bat? This is gonna be fun.
With how both teams play, I
Yeah.
think it's going to be a 3-1 or a 3-2 Ultra.
Okay.
I I don't know about this Miami team, man. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they beat Optic, not really achievement, but they beat FaZe.
They beat FaZe, yeah.
They beat FaZe. You know, I don't know where to put this Miami team whatsoever.
I think this goes map 5, and I think it's a super masterclass. I think Miami win. I think if it goes map 5, Miami win. If it goes map 4, Toronto win.
I can agree with that. Yeah,
So what do we think? Do we put 3-2? Do we put 3-1? What do we I think we're in agreement it's not going 3-0, right?
definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not. I don't know. I kind of want to give the edge to Ultra.
Ultra. All right, I'll concede. I don't mind that. 3-1. I do think if it goes Map 5, Super Masterclass. Keep that in mind. Next C9 Breach.
Rio Breach. I don't like the C9. I don't like the
Ooh,
C9
that's
team
hot. That's a
whatsoever.
hot take.
I
Really?
I'm so low on this C9 team. I don't know.
3-0?
Yeah.
I think this goes Map 5 also.
That's crazy talk.
That is not crazy talk.
That's
See,
crazy
I
talk.
put Breach on the same level as Rocker in terms of skill, not in terms of like wins or anything, in terms of skill of everyone playing at. You know what I'm saying? Like they're in the top 6.
Maybe their max skills, but Breach have been playing a lot
I
better
think
than
yeah,
Rocker.
I think Breach have been playing better, but I think Rocker are up there. Like they're like right next to Breach. I think personally, and C9. I don't know what's going on with C9, man.
That
Uh,
they're so series to series. I don't
yeah.
like this team. I don't think they work well together.
They need to change. They need to
That
change for
it's
a
too late
while
for a
now.
change now.
Everyone's taken, yeah. I mean, who else could they get? They tried out
Burying
Capsule
that one.
and apparently those scrims went so bad that they didn't change. So like,
I mean,
I
they
don't
could have just gone the exact same with Capsule.
good.
So
That's
like
very possible.
maybe just keeping team synergy could have just been better than bringing on Capsule.
Yeah, it's possible. Um, I'll concede to the Breach win. I do think
But
this goes map 5 though.
I'll
I think
concede
you're way too
3-1.
low. All right. I think you're way too low on C9, but I do think it's valid for being so low because they're just not winning. But they did get their reverse sweep. They could use that as momentum to bring it into this week. LA Thieves. All right, I don't even think we need to talk
No
about it. Move on. Saturday, Saturday, C9 Surge. 3-0,
3-0,
right?
sir.
Also 3-0. Yep. Minnesota. This is
This is
gonna
gonna
be
be
a
a
good one. Yep.
yo.
Map 5, right? Map 5. It
It's
has to.
100% a map 5. I think Rocker finally clutch it
You
out.
think Rocker finally
I
clutch?
think they finally like something goes right for them.
All right. Prediction right off the bat. Right off top of your head. Who's clutching up?
Miami.
Who? What?
I I want to say Rocker, but if we're
No,
going logical, it's
no,
gonna
no,
be
no. No
Miami.
logic. Go with your heart. You said Rocker. Which player on Rocker's clutching up for them in the map 5?
I think it's gonna be Nero.
You think it's gonna be Nero? Okay. All right. I think he might be right. I think Rocker might be due. They gotta win a map 5 at some point, right?
Mm, you hope
Yeah. All right, move
3-0.
on.
Yeah.
Move on. This could get interesting. It won't,
I mean,
but it could.
with how FaZe have looked this during the qualifiers, I I definitely see like Falcons maybe taking a map or two.
Mhm.
I still think FaZe win,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't be surprised if it went to a map 5.
Really?
I'm not like high on the Falcons, this new Falcons team, but I'm not so low on them.
They're good at hardpoint. They're
Yeah,
very good at hardpoint. FaZe, that's been their big struggle
they've been hit or miss
over
the
the
hard point.
years. Yeah, they've been that's been their struggle over the years. Um, I feel like nah, there's no way this goes map 5. There's no way.
I would agree with the 3-1.
Yeah, I feel like 3-1's appropriate. Let's move on. Falcons breach. I I think Falcons 3-1. And that's probably a little faded.
That's a little faded. I think if Falcons win, it goes to map 5,
I don't think
but
it goes map 5.
I think it's gonna be a 3-1 breach.
Falcons look really good in hardpoint. I think the only way Falcons win is a 1-2-4, unless they win the control in a 1-3-4. Um, I don't think they win a map 5. Uh, I think if it goes map 5, Breach are gonna steamroll 'em. I think Breach is logical. I'm gonna concede to that, but I think Falcons can win the series. It's a very winnable series.
It's possible.
Optic, Texas, and FaZe. When was the last time these guys
I don't even
squared up?
remember.
Was it when Pred just came back? Was that the last time they squared up?
Probably. I can't
They got
remember.
smoked.
I I don't have any faith in Optic. Just get these jokers off my screen.
You were
Like
so high on them. What happened, man? They lost the Falcons, huh? That really turned your whole
well,
view on them.
it's not even their series win. I don't think they look that good. I don't.
Nah, they dominated C9. Like that was pure domination. It was
Yeah,
very
but
impressive.
I don't think C9's a good team whatsoever.
Yeah, but they're
Like,
better than getting 3-0'd like that. Like that was a very dominant thing. They're better than that.
uh, I could see them maybe winning a search.
I can't see them winning a Surge. I think Optic's best chance is winning hard points. Because
I don't think they're winning a hard point.
FaZe are so good at control. No, let's think about this logically, right?
Control is phase 100%.
Control is FaZe, no matter what map it is. I couldn't care less what map it is. Control is going to FaZe. That's one.
I think search it. Optic
Search
is so hit or
should
miss.
they should Search should go to FaZe.
It should, but Optic on the day could just be search
Fair.
gods.
That's fair.
I
That's
guess
fair.
you could say that about any team, but
Yeah, I get
I
that.
don't know. Even the searches they've lost, I feel like are pretty close.
Yeah. Um I still think I give the edge to FaZe in the search. Hard points? I don't know.
It's a hit or miss.
I feel like hard points 50-50. I think the only way that they get this to map 5 is a 1-4-5. Like they
I don't
have
see
to.
this in map 5 whatsoever.
I don't either.
There's no
But
chance.
Optics only hope at winning, from what I can see logically, is winning the first map, winning the fourth map, and then winning the last map. That's the only way they can win. I can't see them winning a search,
Look, I think
the
it's
map
gonna be.
2 or the map 3.
I think it's gonna be a 3-0 phase. I
I
mean,
also think so.
I'll concede the 3-1, but
Nah, no, no. I'm not high on this Optic squad. Like, I don't, I don't see what you saw. Like you were high on them because of scrims. I was still skeptical. They did look
I
good in
mean,
those scrims,
they
though.
look
They did.
really
They
good in
did.
those scrims.
They did. They did. But something's happening in matches. I don't know. Let's move on. Thieves. Thieves and Ravens to close out the major split. This is the new Carolina Royal Ravens with possibly Dylan Rex, most likely Dylan Rex, in place of Reese Vivid. Um, should
Right.
I'm expecting the exact same result as it would with Vivid 3-0. I don't see Ravens getting anything on the board. They got to prep for LAN.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I think they just gotta get as much practice as humanly possible with their new fourth. They're throwing them into the wolves right here. Like the Thieves are pissed. The Thieves have been pissed all stage, and now they're coming
Yeah,
off a loss to Toronto. They're probably even more pissed now. I don't want to
especially a
run
series
into
they
these
could have
guys.
won. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
like I don't want to run into these guys.
not a chance in hell.
Yeah. These are predictions. I feel like these are pretty on the money actually. Like I'd be surprised if they don't hit. I could see a map 5. I want a map 5 here. I want one. We should get one. 2 here. I'm hoping for 2 on the Friday, but it might not happen. But yeah, that's it. Any closing thoughts, Floyd? Anything you want to share?
Uh, I mean, I know we just came off an amazing weekend of COD.
Yeah,
Uh, just looking at the matches, I think there are definitely very good matches this week.
just not as good.
Uh, a couple stinkers, but you know,
Yeah, I'm excited for LAN. I'm super excited for Major 3. Major 3 should be fun. I think it's in Miami, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the Miami Major.
Yeah,
And then it's
I believe
DreamHack,
so.
yeah. And then after that, it's DreamHack. DreamHack's gonna be a fun one. Like, I actually can't wait to see that. It'll be good. This land's very exciting. We got a lot of new contenders. I feel like. I feel like everyone can be pretty competitive except LAG. I think they're literally the only team that can't be competitive. But that's it. Thanks, guys.